talking about today. There we go. Pin it. Pin it. Pin comment. Okay, there we go. I'm live. Okay. I'm sorry I'm late, you guys. Anyway, okay, Facebook. We've got a couple people coming on and a whole bunch of you on Instagram. That's awesome. Hi guys, it's so nice to see you, Roaring Tiger. It goes so fast, it's hard, and it's with the white lettering. This top makes it easier. Anyway. Hey Anna, it's been a while since I've joined one of your lives. Welcome back, my nail love. It's nice to see you. Okay, so this is gonna be a fun one because we are doing a contest. We're looking to mix it up, so I want to chat with you guys a little bit about a couple of different things. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hi. Oh, you guys are so awesome. Cheryl, hello, over on Facebook. Amanda, hello. Hello. It's nice to see you guys. You know, it's so fun because I've chatted with, hey, Natasha, hola. I've chatted with so many of you elsewhere on Facebook and Instagram, so it's really great to see you guys. Oh gosh, I wish I could wear my glasses, but like I was saying last week, that bifocal line happens right at all of the text I need to read. So hello, somebody, second time, glad to catch a live. Good, this is gonna be a fun one. Hey Cinderella. Man, you guys, some of you guys are just regulars and I love it. Love, love, love. Hello from Azores. I don't know where that is. Natasha just got her autumn oil and loves it. I love autumn. Corey, in fact, Corey thought that was my favorite fragrance. But like I was telling you guys, pretty much my favorite fragrance is whatever season it is. And during spring, I love crisp because pink sugar is very, very sweet for me. And so anyway, so I use crisp during spring. Azores are 9 islands in the middle of the ocean. Wow. Middle of the ocean. That's got to be challenging. I'm so used to being in the United States and just like you can go anywhere, do anything you want, just get in the car and drive for 5 days and you end up on the other side of the country because I'm over in Olympia, Washington, so up in the Pacific Northwest. Hello from Serbia. Wow, it's so fun. This is so cool, you guys. This is what's awesome about all of this is that I get to talk to all of you from all over the globe. It's so cool. Cheryl says pink sugar is my favorite. You and a boatload of other people. So that's awesome. That top worked for my daughter. She was able to keep, the top coat trick. She was able to keep polish on for 5 days. A new high for her. Awesome, awesome. And is she in school? Boy, being in school is tough on nails because digging in backpacks all the time. Oh, so nice to see you guys. Sweden, Florida. How you doing over there in Florida? I see you're still alive. That's fantastic. Yeah, lots of prayers to Florida, and it's just, I keep getting messages from one of my weather apps that keeps telling me about all of the tropical storms that keep happening in the Atlantic, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Hello from Georgia. Wow, Connecticut. You guys are all over. This is awesome. I appreciate you putting up with me being a few minutes late. So this will be the answer that you're looking for. Is I always forget to turn off the spa before a live. And so that machine is the motor is going and going and going. And I realized when I was replaying last week's Facebook, I'm like, what is that noise that's in the background? And I'm like, the spa. So I was a little late because I'm running around trying to finish makeup and all of that stuff and get the windows closed so the horses don't bug you and all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, there we go. Okay, let's see if we've got a few questions happening. Any reason? Wait. No, she works in my office typing and handling papers, and yeah, well, that's challenging too, especially if you're digging into files all the time. That's really hard on our fingertips, and it can cause a lot of peeling, a lot of tip wear too. Any reason why nails would grow on the thumb and pinky but not on the others? That is such a good question. Because the truth is that your nails are always growing. They never stop growing until the day you die. And some people actually think this is a weird little thing. It's a myth, actually. Some people think that nails actually, like, after you die, and for people who get buried in a casket, and have a viewing, that people will say their nails grew since they died. No, it's kind of funny. Not funny. But actually the skin has been shrinking, and so that makes the nails look longer. Isn't that weird? Anyway, okay, so to get back to that, I find it fascinating that your thumbs don't. So the key is we want them to stop breaking, because that's what gives them the appearance of not growing. But they do grow all the time. For different people, it's a different speed. I know for mine, it takes about 4 months for mine to replace from here to the fingertip. I know for some people it takes 6 months. For some people it takes 2.5 months. Everybody's different. Most people have to have shorter thumbs. Like, you can even see one of mine broke, and I keep these short because they're flatter. They have a flatter C curve than the rest of my fingertips. And so they have a tendency to tear on the sides because of touching things. And if I catch the corner on a door or a counter or whatever, it'll tear right there. So that's kind of what happened here. Was it bent when I was working with the horses, and there we go, that corner went, and I was just like, so usually people keep their thumbnails shorter. Pinky hardly touches anything, and that's why it doesn't seem to break. Actually, what's interesting is that according to Doug Schoon in his book Nail Structure and Product Chemistry, he does talk about that actually our nails do not grow at the same rate. So our middle finger supposedly grows the most over the year. So I guess that one then would be growing faster. So the big thing for you, Adrian, is that you're going to really, if you're not familiar with our nail oil or using nail oil to strengthen your nails, go to my website where I write all my articles, and that's nailcarehq.com. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go to Google, and you're going to put in nailcarehq.com, and then also strengthen brittle nails. And that's the article that you want to start with. And that will help you understand why oil is the right oils, or the things that can actually penetrate into the nail plate and increase, Doug calls it, increase their plasticity, which basically is a nice word for strength and flexibility, because we want to, when we bang them into something, we want them to bend. We don't want them to dry, brittle nails. They just, when they bend, they snap. So they're not recovering, and that's what we want. And then also for a lot of us, if you don't have really, really thick nails, and we all know who we are, most of us have thinner nails, and so you want to use the temporary strength of 5 layers of nail polish. So 2 layers of base coat. You're going to wrap that if you've got tips, wrap it all the way around to the underside. And then 2 layers of color, not wrapped around. You can cap your tips, which is just running the brush right along the edge. And then a layer of top coat, a quick dry top coat. And so that will give your nails temporary strength, especially your tips, because since you've wrapped 2 layers of base coat and 1 layer of top coat, around the tips, that's actually, when you think about it, that's giving 8 layers of protection to those nail tips. So that's increased strength, and also polish has a flexibility to it. So it goes along with when your nails are stronger with the oil, and then you put on the polish, it's still going to bend really nicely. And in fact, a lot of people will find that when it bends, the polish will, like if you bend a corner, the polish will chip off and not your nail. But you could get a stress fracture. That's what I call them. Doug calls the official term for them is fissure. That's not as easy to say, and it doesn't really make sense in our world. Of what I really like is stress fracture better, and that's just when the nail tip gets bent and it doesn't recover, and you've got all of these different layers that then now are they can have a tendency to peel, and that's, you can, what I do is if I'm feeling like I can do it, I have horses, so it's a lot harder. Anyway, I will strengthen that with a silk wrap or fiberglass and use a little bit of nail glue on that. I've done the toilet paper tea bag type of thing. In fact, that's what I did. I actually used toilet paper, which I found I liked better because of like the cross-linking fibers. I don't know if I remember I tried the tea bag, but I remember liking the toilet paper because I could separate it, all the plies, the layers, and just use one layer. And then I used nail glue, but that was way before I knew anything about fiberglass and silk wraps. And so I do that, but because the nail glue it's not flexible, you'll notice that it kind of gets all these little cracks in it. You kind of have to baby it, and you have to replace it every 3, 4, 5 days. And so kind of depends on how your life is. Hello, Marilyn, over on Facebook. So I hope that, hey, Adrian, I hope that helps you. That was a big, long-winded answer. One of my friends told me that I should start using Simply Peel. I've never used it. Make sure that you're not allergic to latex. That's the number one thing, because it is a liquid latex. And it depends on what you're using it for. I created it because I wanted a solution for my favorite, let me pull out my little, okay, so my favorite cuticle remover is the Sally Hansen one right now, until I find something better that I like. But anyway, I like this because it's a gel type of consistency rather than like Blue Cross is a water consistency. And what makes cuticle removers work is an ingredient called lye. And there's a couple other names for it. One's like caustic potash. And I don't remember the other one. But so you'll find it on and I'm not even going to try to read this teeny little lettering here to say which one it is. But anyway, the easy name is lye. And what lye does is it dissolves human skin proteins. And so since the cuticle is actually the dead skin, let me show you a picture. The dead skin that's on our nail plate. Me running around. Okay, so if you guys can see this, so see that dead skin that's on the nail plate right here? That is actually your cuticle. And so nail polish, as we know, those of us who have done sloppy nail polish doesn't stick to skin. You get into the shower and all of that just sloughs right off, okay? So if nail polish doesn't stick to skin, do we want it to stick? It's not going to stick to the cuticle skin that's on the nail plate. So we definitely want to remove that. And so you want to be very careful to have this not touch your live skin. That's a challenge, because what we all think of as the cuticle is actually, so we go back this tight band of skin right here, that is actually the proximal fold. And we want that skin because it's a nice protective barrier that keeps germs out of the matrix where the nail cells are created. And so how do you put this stuff on and not touch the live skin, because when you do, and I see it all the time with bloggers where they'll take it, and I'm not going to do it, but they'll take it and they'll just spooge it all over the place, and I'm like, you are about to get those really, really fine shredding hangnails probably in about 2 days, because it eats live skin also. So I created Simply Peel for that, to protect the live skin, so that you could actually use the cuticle remover to get the dead skin off the nail plate, and then you will have manicures that last longer and don't chip back by your cuticle line, because now that polish is fully appropriately bonded to the nail plate way back here. That was a long-winded answer. I'm good at those. Hope that answers. Can you over oil your skin? No. Just like if you drink a little bit, you can die from drinking too much water. So let me just put that out there. But if you drink more water than your body needs, then you're just going to go to the bathroom more. If you've got more oil on your skin, then your body knows. It's just like, okay, well, we don't have to produce so much right now. Everything's fine. It's all in stasis and everything is good. So, I do know that there's a lot of different research in terms of dealing with extra oil on our face, and we're of course complicate things because we wear foundation, which is why I usually only wear makeup on Thursdays because I have rosacea. You guys can't. I'm not having a flare up right now, but I get all of this teeny acne all over here, and so anyway, makeup just kind of blows things up. So I do know that there's a lot of people who have tried, there's a name for it, but anyway, they apply more oil to their face, and you could do that with our oil as well, and do that as an intensive, and for some reason it helps regulate your body so that it's not overproducing oil. When you think about it, you're like, that doesn't make sense, but for some people, they try it, they love it. So I hope that helps. I know I say that a lot. Okay, so over on Facebook, what do I do when my nails split into several layers? That just happens to me really often at the tips. And Nama, that hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, that is classic. So actually I'll go back to this picture. My guess is it's like this, but not quite so bad. This is called delamination. And the way that happens is because water penetrates. And so those of you who don't know and haven't been on here, water is the most dangerous chemical to your nails. And so what it does is that it is the only thing that can penetrate through all of the layers, between all of the cells. And let me show you another picture of what nail cells look like. Let me find it. Come back here. Because the nail cells, it's actually fascinating. Here we go. Okay. So our nail cells look like this when they're all healthy and they're laying properly. Okay. So water is the only thing that can penetrate through each of these layers. So between the layers, all the way through, and through all of this part of the cells. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know all the perfect names, but it penetrates through the cells and between the cells. So it has the capacity to push all of those cells apart. So I use the analogy of a book. I have all my props here. Okay, so the easy way to see it is we've got a book and it's got all of these layers, and this is kind of like your nail cells and your layers. We have approximately 50 layers to our nails, some people more and some people less. I think that I'm one of those less because mine are very, very thin. So see how they all lay nicely. And then we get the book wet. And I let it dry. I tried to dry it the very best I could, but all of those layers are now poofed apart. And no matter what we do, we're not going to get those layers to stay together, okay? So this is kind of what happens. Your nails have the capacity to absorb the water, and then it evaporates, and your nails can handle that for a little bit. But we wash our hands so much and we do so much with our nails, especially if you have longer fingertips. Actually, shorter fingertips tend to peel more because you tend to touch the, I can't, like if I'm touching something, I have to touch it with the pads of my fingers. I can't touch with the tips of my fingers. And those of you who have short nails, watch yourself. You actually touch a lot of things with this part of the pad of your finger. And so your fingertips are touching things a lot more. And so that helps push all of those layers apart. Okay, focus. Where was I? Pushing the layers apart. Ugh, I lost it. One of you guys will bring me back. Wait, okay, it's Nama's question. So they split into several layers. So the problem is that once they've all split like that, they can't go back together. Using a good jojoba wax ester based nail oil can help sort of glue some of those layers back together, but when they're really bad, it's just not going to work. And so you have two choices. You either cut off all the damage. If they're short and it's gone past, and you can't cut it off, then what I do is I take a thicker nail glue. So I use this one, IBD, and it has nothing to do with gel, but it's called brush on gel resin. And basically this is, any nail glue it's almost the exact same composition as what super glue brand glue. And so what I like about this is that I can control it better, and I can just brush it on just that little peeling area and then let that dry. And then I go back with my normal manicure and I make sure that I keep the top coat and the base coat wrapped all the way around. And if you get a lot of tip wear, you may want to, like every couple of days, add another layer of top coat to go around and seal off that edge. Because no matter what we do, even myself, I still get tip wear. Within about 2 days, I'll see it. And if I'm careful, I don't have to worry about putting on more. But if I'm really busy and doing gardening and horses and all of that kind of stuff, then I need to apply more top coat to sort of help seal that off. I hope that, Nama, there was a really, really long answer. Okay, let's see. Marilyn says, I bought a lot of different kinds of gloves to do dishes and they always end up breaking on you. Which type of gloves would you recommend to do dishes and cleaning your house? You guys, we are just about ready. It's like literally in a couple of days ready to flip the on switch of my favorite dish gloves. I don't have them here. They're in my kitchen. But they're the only gloves that I've ever experienced that stay dry. They have a soft fleck type of lining, but it's not one of those that like disintegrates and turns into this gross white powder as soon as you start sweating in it. So I find that half an hour of doing dishes, which I try to pawn off on the rest of my family, but if I have to do dishes or cleaning the kitchen, doing the deep cleaning that nobody will do, they're the only gloves that, I don't know, they're just different. They're my favorite, and I've never experienced anything like them, and we are about to start carrying them. So and then the other thing is, that's very important if you have longer tips, is just because we're wearing gloves doesn't mean we're not going to whack them into the counter or the wall or the drawers, and they will still bend. And I've actually gotten some stress fractures. Actually, the one I've got right here, I got because I was cleaning up for my sister coming to visit from Michigan, and I was washing some windows, and I whacked it into like the edge of the windowsill kind of thing and bent it. Got a nice stress fracture, so I keep kind of babying it, and eventually I'll just cut it. I've been doing this business and writing for 5 years now, and I'm kind of like just gotten to the point of like I'll just cut them shorter. And the reason is because so many of you bloggers, especially those with really short nails, who do amazing nail art. I think Nails by Megan is one. Is they've taught me that well manicured short nails can be very, very beautiful. So I'm not, so as much as I like having long nails, and actually this happens with a lot of bloggers, this is the nicer hand that usually gets photographed, and then this is what we call our Cindy hand, or Cinderella hand, which is the one that does all the work. And so that most people end up having those nails shorter. So anyway, Justine, my daughter, is texting me. Stop texting me, darling. Let's see. So gloves are coming. The thicker nail glue, depending on where you live, at least in the United States, if you have access to a Sally Beauty Supply, that is where I get this nail glue. You might be able to find it on Amazon if you're Amazon, whatever country you're in, you may be able to find it. It's IBD gel resin, brush on gel resin, which has nothing to do with gel polish. It's nothing like that. There's no light required, and it's not a polish. It is a glue. Okay. Oh, Marilyn, is it possible to get a chance to show the picture and the name brand of the gloves? I want to say they're called Smart Ones. Don't hold me to it. But they will be up on the website very, very soon. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram and Facebook, and that, and then you'll get that announcement of when we have those available. Okay, let me go back to Instagram here. Miss Carolina, where can I buy stones for nails? I'm going to guess that you are actually talking about like rhinestones and little things. You can get, I think a lot of people, Born Pretty is where they get the most. You can go to anywhere. I think my favorite, and I don't think Born Pretty carries them, are Swarovski rhinestones, and you can get them in all different kinds of sizes, from like bead stores, jewelry stores. Those are my favorite because they shine like little diamonds. They're also very, very expensive. So anyway, that's probably the best place. I know that there's a lot of indie small sellers who carry some of that stuff. So just to Google nail art rhinestones, and you'll find some sellers of that. Hope that, I'm pretty sure that's probably the best solution I can give you. Natasha, this is the third time you've done a live without nail polish on my nails. I do a base coat, but it's been the 3 weeks. I should have just been testing that purple polish again, because I've been testing base coats, but I didn't put polish on because I thought, well, I'm going to start playing with nail art. It's now been over 2 weeks. Haven't done that because I just finished the nail biting article that I've been telling you guys about forever. It's the only article that is very, very different from anything I've ever written. It's more like a science paper, a college paper. And actually, when my mom was editing it for me, she goes, okay, I'm editing this 30-page thing you sent me. And I go, what 30-page thing? And she goes, this thing on nail biting. I'm like, it's 30 pages? No wonder it took me forever to write. And tons of research. And so what I've done is I've taken the research from all different kinds of medical journals and stuff. And I've taken the research and it's blah, blah. And then I kind of interpret it. So make it easy. So you sort of skip sections if you're not interested in the whole sciencey stuff. And I sort of explain that and put it into better, easier to understand language. So take a look at it, scan it, see if there's anything, especially if you're a nail biter, or even pick at your skin. You're going to find it really, really, really helpful. My nails left says my thumbs grow very fast, so they're long. Natasha says, did you find which base coat you liked? I'm only halfway done. I did 3 or 4. And the reason that I think I've got 6 to test. Yeah. The reason that it takes me so long, for all of my dear followers and customers and everything is because I am testing for durability. And the fun thing, fun, not fun, cool, which is, anyway, is that I can, most manicures I get 7 to 4, up to 14 days of wear. So that makes it challenging to test things quickly, because I want to test and make sure that, okay, if I say this is the one that has given, and I've gotten one that's given me 12 days of wear, and I want to say it's Nina. It's available at Sally Beauty Supply. But it's weird. The consistency is very weird. I don't have my notes with me, but I keep doing that. I should have just done it. So I'm gonna go back to, so when you come back, I'll be purple again. Okay. Whoops. Wonderful customer service. Right hand nails. Thank you. Thank you. We work really, really hard at that, because it's just right in our mission statement for Bliss Kiss is to create life-changing products with an exceptional customer experience. And so that's why, and my team is absolutely amazing. Because honestly, you would have me on the phone every time and making sure, but I'm writing articles and doing these lives and all of this fun stuff that I'm doing to connect with you guys. And so I have this amazing team that just handles emails and Amazon comments and our web comments and all of the stuff that you guys ask. And when you call in, most likely you're gonna get James, and he's fantastic. It's so fun to see all of these guys who work with us, and now they know more about nails and nail care than they ever thought they would know. So, so thank you. Your middle 3 don't seem to grow at all. My guess is that it's just that they keep breaking. Mona Colson, I think Colston, my nails grow really fast. I cut mine down every 5 weeks. Yeah, usually when I'm being lazy, like I'll cut them, I'll just sort of let them get, in the past, I can't do it now because of having horses, but in the past I would just let them grow longer until I knew that they were going to break any day. And then I would just cut them back to really short like this, and then just let them grow, and I'd do that about every 4 or 5 weeks. But I can't do that now because I've got horses, and even though I have my hands in gloves, they still can bend if the horses be weird or whatever. And so they're more likely to break. But like I was saying, I'm much calmer about just cutting them and going shorter. And that's another thing to tell you guys, is that it is perfectly fine to cut your nails with clippers. So with nail clippers, do I have any in here? No. Everything moves on my nail table. But it's perfectly fine to cut your nails, and people say, oh, it's going to make them worse and they're going to peel more, and no, they're not. They're dead, and as long as you have really good sharp nail clippers, you're going to be fine. The problem is that most people, when they start, they want to, let me see if it's over here, hang on. Oh, there it is. Okay. So most people, when they're cutting their nails, they're going to start and they want to cut straight across. No, don't do that. And they want to do it in 1 or 2 cuts. No, 3. You need 3. So you're going to start, can I have you guys see this? You're going to start with the nail clippers at like a 45-degree angle, this angle. And you're going to do a cut that goes about 1/3. And then you're going to turn it and go this way. And then depending on your nails, you're probably not going to go this direction. You're probably just going to do 2 snips straight across. This is the way you get your nails, because what'll happen is if you go straight across, what happens for most people is that this corner then will snap, okay? And so what happens, it'll snap and fly away. But what happens is because it's breaking, it'll break at an angle going this way, and then you're like, snap, and now now it's way shorter than I wanted it to be. So I start usually about 2 millimeters longer than I want it to be, do that cut, and then come back in with your crystal nail file And then you're going to smooth those edges. And I actually even, once I've done the filing this way, I will actually scratch my nail this way and then also this way, so that you are actually sort of rounding that edge and it smooths it out, and then go to polish immediately. You want polish on all the time. Cheryl says their shipping is really fast too. Nama is in Israel, so I don't know how to help you get some of these things I've talked about. Okay. Back to Instagram. You guys are so awesome at giving me really good questions. And so Neela, so she wants to know which base coat is best. Your nails are brittle and peely even though you use our oil. Okay. So what you want to do is go and find a ridge filling base coat, which is really, really dumb because we are not filling the ridges. Let's see if I can find. Here's the good one. Okay. So as we get older, we get more grooves in between the ridges, and the grooves are the thinnest part of your nail plate. So we never want to file down these ridges because, or buff them down. What are you doing? You're making your nail plate, you're taking the thickest part and making it match the thinnest part. So then they start peeling and breaking even more, and people will go, well, what happened? So actually they should be called groove filling ridge or base coats, but we want to fill in those gaps that in between the ridges. And so that's what a good ridge filling base coat will do. It has all of these little microparticles that settle into the grooves. And normal colored polish doesn't have that, which is why if you don't use a base coat, and you just apply polish, it seems to make those ridges more pronounced. And it is because it's settling in, it's going like this. So we want that ridge filling base coat to fill those grooves, and then you get a nice smooth surface so that your polish looks beautiful. So just look for that. I can't tell you, they all work. I'm testing 6 right now. They all work fine. They just work differently. And I'm of course also testing for durability and seeing how long I can how long does the base coat help my manicure last longer. And so that's where I'm testing durability. And so it's important to me because I know that if it lasts longer for me, then it's going to help you. And there's a lot of people, they can only get a manicure to last 2 or 3 days. And that could be your lifestyle, it could be your body chemistry. But I want you to be able to at least get the most out of it as possible. That was a terrible, terrible sentence. So I'm trying, Neela. How many oils are in your nail oils? You can go find all of the ingredients over on myBlissKiss.com. It's got 8 ingredients. You can eat all of them. The fragrance oils don't taste very good, although I know 2 or 3 people who actually think that like crisp tastes good. To me, I'm like blah, 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 blah. With all of them. I'm like, so to me they don't taste good, but you could eat them. And that was the whole point of starting this company. And when I started the oil, I didn't want something with 60 different ingredients and a bunch of them. It's like, why are they even there? It makes absolutely no sense. Why would you put garlic in an oil or a polish? Okay. I could go on about garlic for quite a while. But anyway, so I wanted something that you really could eat, and I did a whole bunch of research on different oils, and the thing that came up, it just kept floating up, was the importance of jojoba wax ester. A lot of times it's labeled as jojoba oil. I truly believe that there's a lot of them out there that because if you're buying them cheap, then it's because they are, I believe that you're getting an inferior jojoba. It is actually not an oil. It's a wax ester that is liquid at room temperature, and so it looks like an oil, but it's not. And our body oil has about 30% wax esters in it also. So if your body oil can come up through your skin and through your nail plate, then jojoba wax ester can go penetrate in. People ask, well, they've been asking me recently, how is your oil different from straight jojoba? And one, I was starting to allude to, if you're buying it and it's really cheap, it's probably cut with other oils, other cheaper oils, even though it's not on the label. The way I know that is because we pay over $100 a gallon. It's a very, very expensive product, and but I know it works. And what I don't understand why it works is the combination of having the olive oil and the grapeseed oil with it. Those by themselves won't penetrate into the nail plate very well. They will, but it's slow. So there's something that happens when it's combined with the jojoba, and there's positive and negative electrons, and those of you who have studied biology and chemistry and all of that, and probably physics too, and I only took biology in high school. Anyway, what I believe is that the jojoba is actually helping to pull in the olive oil and the vitamin E and the grapeseed oil and the vitamin A. So it pulls those in, so it actually works better. And the fun story, I'll throw my mother and my best friend under the bus again. But when I started and I had this amazing experience with our oil, and my nails were about three times as long as they are now after 4 months of using this oil blend that I created. And I had just sort of done a bunch of research, smushed it together, and I could not believe the results. And so I was like, well, somebody else on this planet might like to buy it. But my mother and my best friend, they were like, well, and my mother calls me Anne, if Anne's talking about how awesome jojoba is, then straight jojoba should work just fine. So they both went out and got it, probably about 2 months apart from each other. And within a week, they both came back to me and they're like, I don't know what's special about your oil, but it sure works a whole lot better than straight jojoba. So I think that goes back to the jojoba helping to suck in the other ingredients that would not penetrate at all or as well, since the molecules are much bigger. They wouldn't penetrate without that jojoba to help them. That was another long-winded answer for that. My Nail Love, have you ever thought of putting your products in stores such as Sally's or Walmart? Yes, we would love to do that. There's only one problem. And that goes back to our mission of creating exceptional or life-changing products. The oils have a shelf life. And the shelf life that we put on the expiration is 9 months. And that is because grapeseed oil is the one that will turn rancid first. It lasts 9 months. Olive oil lasts for 2 years before it goes rancid. And then jojoba, since it's not an oil, it actually doesn't ever go rancid. But unfortunately, the jojoba doesn't fix everything, and so the grapeseed oil will still go rancid. So why was I answering that? Because so when you order from us, you are getting the product has been made within the last 2 weeks. Right before the sale, we build up a little bit, so it'll be like a month. But the whole point is we want you to have the freshest product possible. So if we ship out hundreds of thousands of, let's just say, our oil to Walmart, Target, Sally's, and then how long do they sit on the shelf? And so if, let's say it sits on the shelf for 6 months, now it's going to go rancid on you in 3 months. And then that doesn't create a life-changing experience. So that's why right now, I'm going to have to figure out, because the business just keeps growing. So eventually we're going to have to figure out how to make this all work. So eventually, but I see that being several years down the road. Okay. Can I DM you a photo of the oil polish that I bought? Yes, you may. Oh, right hand nail said to Neela. I had mentioned before with a pink tone to the base coat is good. Yeah, if you can find a ridge filling base coat that has a pink tint, it will help cover up some of that yellow staining that we get from wearing nail polish all the time. So that's why I like that. But a couple of them that I've been testing, they go on white, sort of this frosty, not solid white, but this frosty white, whitish tint. And I like to be able, like right now I'm wearing base coat. Of course it's peeling off, but I like to have, if I'm only wearing base coat, I want it to look like my natural nails. So these two that are white, it's like, you have to get polish on them right away. So that's sort of a down, I can't think of the right word right now, but anyway, a mark against it because it's got this whitish tone. Somebody says, I've never used TP for toilet paper for repairing a nail. Yep, nice. It's a nice hack. Okay. Hi from Ireland. Hello. Oh, this is a good one. I don't think anybody's asked me this. Carrie, how does Bliss nail oil compare, and is it different from C&D solar oil? Great question. Actually, the only way that I know that is that it's different is because there was a period of time for a couple months where we thought we wanted to get into the wholesale market and sell to salons. And so we sent out like 750 samples over a couple of months. And like most things, it's the follow-up, the taking time to answer a lot of questions. And anyway, most of those salons were committed to solar oil, and many of them were very resistant to try. They're like, we like our solar oil, we don't need anything else. But some people were like, okay, I'm game, I'll try it. And we did get several customers out of it, that process, and they all said night and day difference. It's like comparing apples to oranges. And I never could try the C&D oil because that's how I got started with this business, is because it's got almond oil in it and I'm allergic to almonds. So I knew that was that's the C&D rules the salon market. They do. And that experience of trying to get wholesale clients and the amount of work and education and trial with getting salons to carry our oil made it very, very clear to us that that was not our market. Our market is actually helping you guys. So those of you who are doing the DIY manicures and nail art, and whatever reasons you're not going to the salon or between the salon or whatever, we really are focused on giving you guys these amazing products and an amazing customer experience, and we just want you to be happy. So that's that. That's my best answer for how C&D is different. And the other thing too, actually, no, I can add to that. I haven't looked at their bottle in a while, but I'm pretty sure that jojoba is the third ingredient. And I have been teaching since the very beginning that jojoba needs to be the first ingredient. And for those of you who don't know about truth in labeling, is that when you label a product, and I believe that many indies are doing it wrong, but when you label a product, the first ingredient should be the one that is the most. And then as you go down the ingredient list, it has smaller amounts of those things. So jojoba in C and D oil, if it's second or third, and I'm pretty sure it's third, they went with almond oil because it's cheaper. And it's significantly cheaper. And so I just knew that I wanted jojoba to be first. And so that was why, because there. That was a long-winded way around. Okay. You always, do I always use nail glue for my manicures? If I'm doing a repair, yes, but I don't. My new way actually is I don't bother with the repair anymore. I just, like I was telling you before, I cut them down. But I've had some where I've broken them, like they've bent, especially because they're so thin. If I haven't been paying attention or something, I've bent it and cracked it like way back here. This one, oh my gosh, that one hurt so bad. And so I had to cut it, and it was bleeding, and the nail bed was exposed, and the only solution, it hurt so badly I couldn't do anything, was I was like, I have to put on a false nail, a plastic nail. And oh boy, did that hurt, putting the glue on, the nail glue on. But it glued it to the rest, and it protected that so tender nail bed. And so that's actually, if I get a really bad break into the nail bed area, I will just cut that down as much as I can and then glue on a false nail tip, or an artificial nail, because it's not a tip. It's not just going here. It's covering the whole nail. So that's my new favorite way of doing that. And like I was saying, especially since I have horses, it's just kind of like, it's not worth trying to baby a break or even a stress fracture most of the time, because I'm just going to do something with the horses or gardening that's just going to bend it again. And so for me, it's not worth it. But I will go back, right? The overnight hydration treatment, that is a lifesaver for me. One of my best friends created it because she has really dry skin. And so she's like, I'm just going to slather my hands in oil, and then I'm going to put on your lotion stick, and I'm going to put them in nitrile gloves, and I'm just going to go to bed. And her skin was baby soft, and her nails were just, they felt stronger and more flexible. And so she told me about this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try it. And I love it. So you can do, even though it's a overnight hydration treatment, I think we should get rid of the overnight part, is because it's really, you can put on the nitrile gloves, put everything on, slather the oil, whatever lotion stick or balm that you have. You don't want any lotion that has water in it. And so then you just put on the nitrile gloves, and you can do whatever you're doing during the day for an hour up to, 9-10 hours, however long it takes for you to sleep. I don't have any trouble anymore sleeping with nitrile gloves. It's weird the first couple of times, and I would when I'd surface, I would notice them. But after that, no, they don't bother me at all now. But I've actually done like 4-hour hydrations when I'm working on the computer doing email and stuff, and it works great, really great. The oil penetrates into the tips, and they'll actually turn transparent, because this is why this part of your nail is transparent, is because the nail bed, that pink nail bed, is pushing the right blend of oil, body oil, and moisture up into the nail plate. And so that's why it's transparent. As soon as it goes past the nail tip, then it's no longer being nourished by the nail bed and keeping flexible. And so then that's why they turn white. And everybody covets these white tips, and I'm like, no, you should not, because that means they're super dry and brittle, and they are going to break. So we really want, when you get that, you do a hydration treatment and your tips start to turn clear, transparent, that's because the oil has gone through all of the layers. It's very cool. And so that is a lifesaver for me. Base coats. Adrian, base coats don't help you. Are you cleansing your nail plate with rubbing alcohol and a lint-free pad before you put anything on your nails. My nails with strong C curves are more prone to breaking than compared to flatter nails. I really want to try Coffin nails, but I feel like my C curve is too strong and the tips would be very fragile. It depends on the, you know, the Coffin nails are the ones that, for those of you who don't know, you angle them in and then straight off up at the top so that, I mean, they look like the top of a coffin. And a lot of people, myself included, if you've got a really tight C curve, like I do, for those of you who can see, that's your C curve, okay? If you've got a really, and actually when mine get longer, they will actually start to almost go into an O shape rather than a C. And so a lot of us file this edge, myself included, I file this edge up an angle a little bit. You guys can kind of see it. Here, let me put it against the, the green. But I file off that edge. And what that does is it helps relax, so that C curve is really tight and it helps relax it just a little bit so it doesn't. So I get more strength that way. And so you actually might find that the Coffin nails actually work really well for you. So, you know, try it. If you don't like it, what's the worst that can happen? You just trim them down and you start over, and in a couple of months they'll just be the way you want them again. My nails keep chipping have been chipping for years with or without nail polish on. It doesn't change anything. What can I do? I've used natural oils only. I would ask if you've been using our oil. I think Nail Art by Benza. The other thing that I would ask you is, I would have to ask you like 20 to 30 questions. So you are welcome to email me, because I can't just answer that question based on that information that you give me. I need to know your lifestyle. I need to know your age. I need to know if you have pets, if you do gardening. I need to know what your job is. I need to know if you have any health issues. All of those things play into why your nails are the way they are. I need to know what your diet's like. I need to know how much water you drink. All of those kind of things. So Benza, if you're willing to answer those questions, I can help you. Email me, Anna@myblisskiss.com. And it's Anna, A-N-A. Neela says, having braces as an adult for 2 years made you quit biting your nails. Yeah, it's a lot harder to do that. Natasha, have you ever thought of going to PolishCon? I think it would have to come to Washington for me to do it. Oh my gosh, there's only 2 minutes remaining. Okay, type in, here's the contest, and I think I'm going to have to announce it. We'll pick a random winner and we'll announce it on Instagram and Facebook. Type in, we'll have one for Facebook and one for Instagram, the thing that I talked about. What did I talk about? Oh my gosh, I forgot to write it down. Oh, I was supposed to tell you, summer is closing. It's going in the vault in 6 days. So if you want any of the summer oil or lotion stick, we've only got 4 lotion sticks left. Go order it, because they're going away till next summer. Okay, so what was the question I told you guys? Oh, what did I forget to turn off every time for all of the lives previously? So answer that, and we will pick a random winner. For those of you who I didn't get to the question, I've got 49 seconds. If I didn't get to your question, please come back next Thursday. PolishCon, it's too far away. The other thing is that we've found that it just, for the amount of income, it's not worth the time. My time is much better spent educating you by writing articles rather than standing trying to teach people why they need oil. I usually lose my voice. So anyway, 17 seconds left. You can find me at my writing at nailcarehq.com. I'm probably going to get cut off. You can find all of my articles over on, we're working on getting them all over on YouTube. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myblisskiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.